Hello. So just to go over some super quick items. I commented back to Charlie, so I would have lost it. So I want to keep it up. He says, I was reading through the Bible about the Antichrist, and I found where it states that he will rise out of significance. So the Antichrist won't be a household name. It can't be Trump. I replied, oh, you'll surely need to offer the book, chapter, and verses. Let me just say this to anybody. If you've got a question about something I've said concerning the word of God, don't just throw out your opinion. Say, well, I saw in the Bible, and then just give me a blanket statement of your opinion. Say, here's what Charlie could have easily have said. I was reading through the Bible in Mark chapter 4, verses 10 through 15 about the Antichrist, and I found where it states that he would rise out of, or it appears to me, it's saying he will rise out of insignificance. So can you shed some light on why you think it's Donald Trump based off this passage? Boom. But you just threw reading through the Bible, all 66 books. You read through all 66 books and you came up with that. And I said, you can't just make a blanket statement about his word off the cuff. So let's have it, Charlie. And of course, it's Trump. Of course, it's Trump. Of course, it's Trump. And if you don't think it's Trump, you're probably wasting your time with my channel, because all we do on this channel is go over the word of God, sure, at times, but that's mainly my TS Daily Bible Studies and its playlist, and or the playlist of Telling Truth Archives. Sometimes I shed some Bible studies here, but if this channel basically is Trump is the Antichrist, we're looking for the deadly wound date or when the book of Revelation will be opened, then there's no need to be here. There's plenty of other YouTubes out there for you. So let's go through, let's just do a search reading through the Bible about Antichrist will rise out of insignificance. Let's just search that and couple it with Bible verse. Antichrist will rise out of insignificance, Bible verse. No. Okay. Not seeing what you said. So that's what you got to do, Charlie. You gotta give me where you read it through. The dates will not be what one thinks as well. This is an old video that Ale came across. The moon calendar. We have to go by the moon calendar. We are in the 8th month of the moon calendar right now. Okay. Hey, when it comes to dates and timelines, your guess is as good as mine. I'll tell you that. I tell everybody that. Worm moon is the last full moon of the winter, like the uncircumcised worm. So I don't know what that's a reference to. Again, if it's something to do with the Bible or whatever it's to, don't ever hesitate to reference that for me. That saves us time. You look like a giant uncircumcised. Okay, so nothing came up with that comment. That's okay. Yep, he is the boss of it all for sure. Don't hesitate to put the name of the actual person instead of he, the pronoun, because these sometimes I don't remember what all was in my video from yesterday, let alone whenever this one was. So I love reading your comments, but I'm just trying to help you, help me, help you. So we can help each other complete the conversation that you began in the comment. So this was out October 9th, 2021. So don't hesitate to give me all you got with as much as you got. Especially if he in fact signed Talmud law, but how many are not for Jesus? John said many, they are many buried too. I don't know what that's about. So let's go ahead and now recirculate and see if there's any more comments, because I held that one from earlier today. And no, that's all of them. See, so Charlie's disappeared. That's why I wanted to hold it. And just one little item that I thought Michael would get a kick out of, that this movie, Black Widow, it's got the 105.1. Michael knows the significance of the 51, and they're singing American Pie. And of course, this has a Russia theme also in this movie. Because when Michael broke down, golly, get it started again, huh? But Ukrainian. And Don McLean. I mean, he just, so, and they end up singing pretty much most of the whole song in that. So I wanted Michael to see that the movie Black Widow did have his American Pie. He did some amazing gematria on American Pie. If you wanted to see the whole video, it's 1.5 minutes long. You can hear more of the song, but I think you get the idea. I don't like playing songs on this channel. I have more subscribers, so they might be a little stricter with copyright rules and so forth. But that's it. Jamie and I have been kind of discussing back and forth I tried to call her yesterday's study. Let me grab it real quick. Concerning the Antichrist is what is being spoken of in Daniel 9. Let me take a look at that with y'all if any of y'all want to look at it, or if Jamie's able to look at it with me. So I asked Jamie to look at that Bible study from yesterday, and she said, we'll just have to agree to disagree. And I tried to call her because I'm not sure that she might not understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and she might go, I know exactly what you're saying. So but I just want to be clear. This is very confusing stuff. It's 9, Daniel 9, 25 through 27. And what I'm saying is in this 27, this is about the Antichrist. And you have the word abominations, desolate. In other words, the abomination of desolations. And desolations is right up here too. Until the end of the war, desolations are determined. He shall make it desolate. Talking about the sacrifice and oblation to cease. And she says, Jesus made the sacrifices cease. Well, Jesus put an end to the daily sacrifice through his death. But as above, so below, the Antichrist will do the same. He will stop the daily sacrifices to cease, just like Jesus did. He will do it in the third temple, where he will declare himself to be God. And to the Jew, the temple is a holy place. To the Jew, that temple is still a holy place. That's why Jesus says to them, you that be in Judea, where it's taking place, he says, flee. And so Jesus himself says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, okay, which is spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoever reads this, let him understand. So that's what I'm trying to help y'all with, because this is very confusing. That's why Jesus says specifically, let's take some understanding. So if you're reading this, I hope you're understanding it. That's kind of what Jesus says. He's basically almost kind of saying a prayer for his sheep. I pray that you sheep that read this truly understand the depth of what is taking place here, that this is the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. I guess what I would say to Jamie is, where in Daniel is the abomination of desolation? Because Jesus is saying that there is an abomination of desolation in the book of Daniel. So what is your chapter and verse or verses in Daniel that speaks to it if it's not here in 9:27, where it literally says abomination, desolate for desolations, and also in Daniel 8, again, against the daily sacrifice, cast down the truth to the ground. In other words, he's starting to blaspheme. And I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation or abomination of desolation? So Daniel 8:13 is Daniel, 9:27 is Matthew 24:15. And that's what I taught on yesterday. And Jamie said we'll have to agree to disagree. So I just want to make sure, Jamie, that you're super clear on what I was teaching. And if you still disagree, just give me where in Daniel is the daily sacrifice, is the abomination of desolation spoken of by Jesus, who speaks of it in Daniel. Where in Daniel is it, would be my question to you. That's all. I ask with love, and we hope that all the teaching Bible studies that we do are edifying to the Spirit of truth, through the Spirit of truth. The Bible is very tricky, y'all. It is extremely tricky. I'm always learning new stuff, always willing to learn, but the things that I truly understand and see or understand in truth, I don't keep studying them to learn them to be untrue once I know them to be true. I don't try to prove the truth wrong once I see it triangulated through many different Bible verses. Then at that point I just move on. But if there's another part in Daniel that would match what Jesus is saying, the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, then if there's another part in Daniel where that's what it's speaking of, but it's not there, because I would always say Daniel and Revelation is the same story told in different areas. You see the same story told in 8, that's told in 9, and I think it's told again in 11. And Jesus speaks to it in Matthew. Let me see if I can find it again in 11, if I'm not mistaken. I did a voice, abomination of desolation, Daniel 11, and it says Daniel 11 through 31. So it's there again, the sanctuary. There's the word sanctuary right there in 26. So we're getting that word sanctuary. Daniel 11:31, King James Version, Bible Gateway. And here's the word sanctuary. So you're getting that word sanctuary to There it is. They shall pollute the sanctuary, take away the daily sacrifice. So in 3 places, just like the book of Revelation, I tell y'all, it's the same thing coming in waves. It's the same story being told over and over from Revelation 6 through Revelation 19. You're seeing the same stories told over and over in different ways. Same with Daniel. Daniel and in Revelation, it's the Old Testament version and the New Testament version of the end times. That's why I teach them back and forth, learning new things each time. At least I have so far. And so there's your proof. So if these aren't, obviously they're all the same thing. It's pollute the sanctuary, daily sacrifice, abomination, and there's the word desolate for desolation that Jesus speaks to. If that's not the Antichrist that's doing these things in Daniel 8:13, 9:27, Daniel 11:31, then where in Daniel is the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, according to Jesus? Because it's Jesus that's telling us that it's the abomination of desolation. All right, love y'all very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for. And please subscribe to TS Daily Bible Studies. Ring the bell. I've been holding at 96, 97 subscribers forever. So I'm sure that's the AI hard at work, but you know, don't hesitate to sign up and begin each study at the beginning of a playlist. I've got Book of Acts I've started. There's Jude, there's 2 Peter, there's 1 Peter, there's Daniel, the 5th study, Philemon, Revelation, 5th study, Matthew, Daniel, 4th study. All of your Daniel and Revelation studies will be coupled with these other studies, and these other studies will be coupled with either Daniel or Revelation. You can just always, you know, fast forward to the specific study if you're looking for Daniel or Revelation, just fast forward through to it. You'll see the book change. If any of y'all request in the comments for me to put a break in the description to where you can just click it to start the Daniel or Revelation study, because obviously the New Testament study of like Acts or Jude or 2 Peter, that's at the beginning. But if you want to fast forward to say the Daniel 5th study, I can put that in the description if anybody would take the time to just ask in the description of any of these Bible studies. All right, love you.